Interesting, when the disciples asked him 3 vital questions. They asked him, number 1, when shall all these things be? The core assignment, one of the things that this reign will do is to stop the oppression of sin and death. Is to stop the oppression of death. And the Lord said to me that the message of the kingdom will be driven by sounds and prophetic songs. You understand what I just said? Driven. I understand that if you want to remember something, if you want men not to forget something, put it in song. The moment it's in song, it can't be forgotten. Are we together? That's why, please, all the service in the house, take note, translate this message into songs. That it will become a rhythm in our hearts. Now, because this is what will prepare men to worship. Men have sung, but they have not worshipped. Don't confuse singing with worship. Don't confuse it together. Don't confuse good voice with worship. Don't confuse gift and talent with worship. Worship has nothing to do with that. Okay, when someone sings nice, it could be expression of worship, but that's not worship. Now, because the first place that worship first occurred in the Bible, there was no song, there was no drum, there was no instrument. The first place the word worship occurred first. Now, Genesis chapter 22 verse 5, and Abraham said to those lads, stand here, and I and the child, we will go yonder and worship. So there are blessings we leave some men and go and worship. It is not everyone that will go yonder to worship, not because you can sing and engage in all. We are born the image of the earthly man. We will also get the image of the heavenly man. I am the yonder. In other words, we will go and submit to the will of God. So worship is submitting to God's will. Worship is saying, not my will, but your will. So this is a generation that will say, not my will. You can sing and have your will. You can sing and have your will. Worship is the offering of the Lord. And you have to understand that the Lord does not take any kind of offering. Leviticus chapter 2 verse 11 said that the offering of the Lord must be without leaven. If it is going to be the offering of the Lord, that's why Paul enjoined, I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present yourself. You present yourself holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. Amplified said, which is your spiritual act of worship. So the presentation of myself as a living sacrifice. Listen to me, someone said that the Old Testament is tough and difficult. That's not true. The New Testament is more difficult. The demands of the new is more difficult than the old. I understand that the old is that you can take an animal and sacrifice, but the new is you and to be sacrificed. It's not animal. Animal is not to be sacrificed. You are the one to be laid upon the altar. That's why David was in the old, but the function in the new. You can be in this order and bring forth an acceptable sacrifice unto God. One of the things that Satan does not like is for a man to offer to God a pure worship. He doesn't like that. Satan always wants your offering to be contaminated. Satan is like a Babylon because he is the initiator of Babylon. All the agenda of Babylon is for you to bend, not to be straight. Babylon wants to bend you, and as long as you bend, you can offer acceptable sacrifice. Acceptable sacrifice. That's why the greatest, the first night that Jesus died was in the garden. That was the first night. Praise God. You know, some are arguing, did he resurrect on Thursday? Did he resurrect on Friday? If it's on Friday, therefore, he did not complete 3 days and 3 nights. You know, when Satan wants to face something, he creates religion and argument around it. But when Yeshua said, and as Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights, so shall the Son of Man. What was communicated in the Jewish language when someone was going through agony, serious heavy agony, they said it is in the belly of the world. So the first night of Yeshua in the belly of the world was in the garden. When he said, not my will. And that's actually where death was conquered. It's in the garden that death was conquered. You know, I was sharing something. The climax of redemptive war is when the life of Christ walked the face of the earth. That it could say that mortality had been swallowed by immortality. Behold, I show you wisdom. You shall not lost. There is a message upon the earth right now that we translate with. This message is what Apostle Paul called the last trumpet. That's right. The last trumpet is not a man carrying a trumpet. No, it's beyond that. I followed Orthodox move. I followed Pentecostal move. Up to today, nobody have told me anything about the first, second, third trumpet. You can't just wake up and say at the last trumpet. That can be last until first, second, to the third. Are we together? So if I'm saying the last trumpet, that means there are preceding trumpets. So what are they? They are messages. We have covered so much syllabus. The only syllabus to enter now is coming to the place of immortality, supremacy over death. And I'm part of those that will not sleep. I don't want to ask you anything. I don't bring things to the name of argument. Because you may change, you may tend to change my theology, but you can't change it. I'm part of those that will sleep. That's why in John chapter 11 verse 25, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection of life. He that believeth in me, even though he died, he shall live. These are those that are sent. We see on resurrection day. But verse 26 said that he that believeth and liveth will not see death. We did not know this. Because it's a hard truth. It's a big belief. Up to the humanity. Not just anyhow. The one that is born from the throne of God will drive free to the soul of me and put it in everlasting remembrance. So don't be a carnal worshiper. Be a spiritual one. For flesh and blood cannot. You know, anytime God wants to give inheritance, he separates flesh. He said, cast Ishmael out. It's a time of inheritance. For the son of the flesh cannot inherit with the son of the promise. So why to write God in the heart of man? Your assignment is the highest upon the face of the earth. You are making men God. You are making men immortal. You are immortalizing carnal man. You are making him God. That's your work. So don't think that all you come to say is a waste of time to interpret. If we want interpretation So we are in a season that God will no longer receive flesh. There are those that God have to cut off. Because it is not everyone that brings us unto God. The reason why Michael, the son of Saul, could not, daughter of Saul, could not produce. God didn't want the flesh to produce for David. From the house of Saul, he can't produce. There are many kingship that God rejected. But the only kingship that was accepted was the kingship of David. You always have a man for me on the throne. Why? Because that's a man that knew the heart of God. I've never seen a man that knew God like David. In the days when people are doing things legitimately, when you sin, you come with offering, you are forgiven. But the day David sinned, that was the day he said, God, what your offering? This one now is a religious thing to appease you. I know that this is what you receive. But the sacrifice of God, the one that you receive, is a broken heart and a contrite. So the heart is the offering of God. That's why any worshiper, your heart is under divine inspection 24 hours. God, some of you are going through things, through pains, and you are thinking you are going through pain. No, he said to Jacob, he took him round the wilderness until idol was not found in his house. God wants to take out every idol so that he can be a worshiper. There is an acceptable offering, and there is an offering. It's in the New Testament that Paul was demanding. You present yourself a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. So God wants to see a generation of worshipers through the song that you minister. God wants to see men come into life. Listen to me. God is like in the days of Joshua, because this is the last warfare. God said to Joshua, put the worshipers in front. Let the men that have sword follow behind. All of those things, there is a new order of worship. That is the Davidic song, the Davidic order that we play upon the earth. Now we're not singing this day for entertainment, we're not singing for show, not the one that you sing, you come and ask, how is it? How is the voice? How is it? How? No. Even if you sing like me, if you sing like me, what God is church is a pleasure. Huh? I don't know, my voice is the only one that doesn't have key. It's only my voice. Praise God. Yeah, I don't understand. Doesn't have voice. So, but when I sing it, I can just laughing. But God is enjoying it. So you can laugh, but God is enjoying. Because I am offering to worship unto God. Offering worship. So we are here to thrive the latter rain with prophetic songs. Praise God.